Hello, welcome to the last day but one. Nice to see you here with me once again. So today is going to be more of a self-care, sort of fluid movements. So if you just come down to your mat, sit either like I am, or you want to cross your legs, whatever you may be. Perhaps you want to get a block, place it underneath your bottom so that your hips are higher than your knees, then please do so. From here we're just going to close our eyes, come inward. Take a nice deep breath, and as we do we're going to raise our arms. We're going to lower our right arm and we're going to lean on into our right side, stretching over with our left. Exhale. Inhale, center, raise the arm. Exhale, lower the left, stretch over with your right. Inhale, come back to center. Lovely. Drop the right arm, stretch over with the left. Come back to center. Use the breath. Inhale, exhale, lower down and stretch over. Lovely. Inhale, come back up. And with our exhale down, we're going to bring the elbows back, lower the arms, opening up our chest, cactus arms. Swing the arms around and bring them back up towards the head. Nice deep inhale and exhale, lower the arms. Trying to draw in the shoulder blades behind you together. Exhale. Bring in some tension and contraction to your shoulders and biceps as well. Inhale and exhale, lower. Lovely, good work guys. One more time with me. And exhale. Lovely, and come back. Hands over knees. Eyes are still closed. Let's just arch the back by rounding the spine. Pulling away our shoulder blades. And then come forward with our spine, sticking out the tummy and chest, and gently looking back. And come backwards, rounding the spine, separating the shoulders. Inhale, come forward, drawing back the shoulders. Bringing back the head. Exhale, come back. And come back to center. Lovely. So we're just gonna come to lengthways to our mat if you're not already. And from here we're gonna just go and shuffle back ever so slightly, and what we're going to do is go ahead into puppy's pose. So come into a tabletop if you wish to first, and then we're just going to walk our hands down so that the chest and the forehead follows. The pressure points in the foot should be pushing down on the tops of your feet. And if you find that it's too harsh in your shoulders, you can bend the elbows just to give some opening there to lower on down. Again, don't force your body downwards. Just allow it to halt where it needs to. Maybe you're up here and that's perfectly okay. Maybe you're up further. But just trying to find a nice dip here. Perhaps you even want to use a mantelpiece, sofa, chair, whatever, and just come into a nice shoulder dippage here if this is too much on the floor. If you're with me, just linger here for a couple more breaths. Remembering to put some pressure on the tops of your toes and the tops of your feet. Driving away and honing in and drawing in. Your navel is just fine, but you're trying to let gravity arch it down too. Focusing on your breath. And when you're ready, just slowly walk the hands back gently and come into child's pose. So opening the knees to your left and right of you and just sitting back the hips. Leaving out the arms stretched out so that you lengthen the spine. Just take a few breaths here. Exhale, inhale to your own rhythm. Taking this nice moment to yourself. And then from here, we're going to bring our weight back up over to our arms, following with our torso. And we're going to come into upward facing dog. But we're going to lift up our feet behind us. And we're going to open our chest, keeping our elbows tucked to our sides. Now if this is too much, you can also linger down in upward facing dog with legs down. Perhaps you want to do 1 foot, and that's okay as well. But what we're going to do next is we're going to swivel off both of our feet to the right. And we're going to come into a side stretch here, bringing your left arm overhead. Your right knee is stabilizing. Right arm is stabilizing. Find that balance. You might find that your arm isn't stacked right underneath your shoulder, creating a nice sturdy position. And just with your breath, nicely open and close the left side of your ribs, your obliques, your lap-dorses, and then come down with an exhale, bringing back your knees and your feet into upward facing dog. Again with the one leg, no legs, or both. Send the hips back, sending the weight back, and sitting back into child's pose. Nice counteract pose for that lovely little back bend. Inhale through the nose, and then just exhale in your own rhythm and follow through with the breath. Really nice deeply. I feel it more on the thoracic spine, which is where the bra strap is. You might find that it's the lower back for you or the upper, wherever you feel it. Just use that breath and give it that good energy it needs. Again, shift the weight over front ways towards your hands, bringing your hips, lowering them down to the floor, coming back into upward facing dog. Now again, if you had the opposite one leg up, it is now the left. If you've got two, awesome. If you've got none, awesome. No pressure to push yourself. Take your time. Keep the elbows tucked into the ribs, watching your shoulders Try not to have them up here into ears, pushing down away with the earth, spider-like hands as well. Again with me, so we're going to pop the feet over to our left, swiveling over, coming into a nice side plank variation and reaching over with our right arm. Perhaps you want to look up towards the ceiling, maybe it's easier to look at the floor. Whatever suits you and your balance and your abilities. With your breath, notice how it opens more the ribs and expands them, giving a nice deeper stretch. Beautiful. Exhale, bring your hand down, plant it over, bring the knees to follow, lower the hips into upward facing dog. And then bring the hips, send them back into child's pose again. Bury the head, sink low into it. Take a nice deep breath to counteract the nice juicy back bend. Send in that breath. Perhaps mine's the thoracic side of the spine, the lumbar rather, which again is the bra strap area, the section that's attached to each rib. Perhaps yours is more cervical, or maybe the lower back, down towards the hips. Just send that breath with your inhale and exhale. Just letting out any more tension that's no longer needed and serves you. Lovely. Bring yourself forward with your weight. Now if you've got a bit shuffle back up on your mat, we're coming into a high plank. So now your shoulders should be stacked over your wrists, and your ankles should be stacked with your toes. If this is too much, you may come down to your knees, and that is perfectly acceptable and okay. It's your yoga session as much as it is mine, and you just go towards your abilities and capabilities. So if you're with me, you're going to do exactly the same on knees. We're just going to go ahead, lift our right leg up, touch ground with our toe and lift. Touch ground with our toe and lift. Now if you're in high plank with knees up off the ground, again, high and lower your right foot. Remembering, keep that core nice and strong, keep your shoulders nice and strong, using your breath, feeling the muscles saying hello. 2 more times with me. Lovely. 1 more time. 5. Drop the knees if you need to. Come back. Ripple forward. Bring the hips down and ripple back. Just loosening up and just easing out that nice fiery burn. Come back into high plank if you will, and from here, otherwise on your knees, same thing, just lower on down. Heighten the leg, lower, high, exhale, lower, inhale, up, exhale, lower. And with it, control, just keeping that glute, driving the way with your left, with your right leg. with the palms. 2 more times. 1 more time. And drop the knees. Send the hips back into child's pose. Bring the elbows down to the side and bring the hands to follow through and touch your feet. Head curled in, chin to chest. Now obviously if you've got a larger bust here, you're more than welcome to open the legs and do the same effect to give yourself some room. And some breathing space. And just have a moment here to unwind and then just come back, knees together, bring your weight forward again, onto your hands, push up and back with your hips into your first down dog of this session, and pedal out your hips and hamstrings and your feet and ankles. Just move to the rhythm of your own pedaling and your own breath. Do what feels good to you here. Have a play around. Nice. And then just come into a halt, a still down dog. And the aim is you kind of want to put your heels to the ground, so even if your knees are softened, don't worry here. Just take the intensity away from your backs of your knees by softening the knees. You want to have spread spidery hands, pushing away with the earth. Keeping the shoulders out from our ears, navel to spine. And just breathe in here. Perhaps you want to just take all 10 toes off. So you're balancing perhaps on the balls of your feet. Wonderful. Deepen that. Strengthening. Keep those toes off, guys. And lower them. Lovely. Raise on up with your right leg into three-legged dog. Bring it into a crunch towards your chest, bringing your weight forward over to your wrists. Bring the right leg in front of your left, so you're crossing them over and sending the hips backwards to straighten and lengthen the left leg. Oh, she's a good stretch, this one. Remember to breathe and bring in that right knee to chest and send it back into still down dog. On the other side, plant the right foot, send the left to sky, bring it to chest, knee to chest, come weight over wrist, cross it over your right, and pushing away with your hands, sending hips back. Another juicy one here. And bring your knee forward and come into still down dog. From here, we're gonna bring our weight over to a high plank and lower the knees, dip the spine, send the hips back, ripple more with your spine, curvature and sending weight forward. So we're doing a bit of spinal waves, dipping our knees, dipping our spine, following through, sending the hips back, curvature, weight over, dipping the legs, dipping the spine, and then following through with hips and spine rippling. Find that breath, find that motion with movement. We'll do it 2 more times. Exhale, come down. Inhale over, exhale, come down. Lovely. Walk the feet on forward to your hands and come into a forward fold. Whew, my arms are on fire. I'm sure yours are too. From here, let's just go ahead and bring our chest and our knees together. So you can bring your hands behind your calves here. And just tuck the elbows closely in as well. And what we're going to do is just connect our chest and thighs together, keeping our spine nice and long here. And then you kind of want to just straighten up by sending the hips up. And then just go ahead and lift off all toes here as well. Using about 70 or 80% of your weight in the heels. And just keep that nice breath going, trying to send the hips up to ceiling. Maybe you want to give a gentle yes and a gentle no. Loosen up the neck muscles. And just slowing down the mind, feeling that nice, lovely stretch. Inhale, lower the toes and come halfway up into fold. Exhale, lower down. And then roll the vertebrae by vertebrae up towards a nice mountains pose Tadasana. So keeping your tailbone tucked, navel to spine, shoulders lowered and down, hands to the hips, palms facing forwards, and chin horizontal and parallel to mat. Again, close the eyes if you want to, go inward. Fabulous. Nice deep breath in and exhale. With me, ready, inhale. And release. Let's just heighten the arms with an inhale over our heads. Come back down with our cactus hands. Exhale. Inhale, raise on up. Maybe give some body movement. And exhale, lower. Good. Raise on up. Inhale. And lower down. Let's do this 2 more times because it feels good. Inhale over, lower down, widen the elbows back, pinching and pulling the shoulder blades together. Inhale, lengthen. And cactus hands down. Lovely. Just to finish off, we'll do some cow face onto the mat. Now, if it's too much to do cow face leg, which we'll bring our left foot to our right cheek, and then we're going to bring our right foot, and you kind of want to put it on top, stacking knees and thighs on one another. Now, you may find that you have a gap, and that's perfectly okay and acceptable, but if this is too much, you can just come into a crossed leg effect and find a comfy spot. And if crossing legs is again too much, then find a nice comfortable seat, maybe on your knees with the block, and sit like so. All right, because what we're going to do with our arms next, so with me with your cow face, is left foot towards your right hip and right foot over on top towards the left side of your hip. bring your right arm overhead and place the palm towards the shoulder blades. I was going to say shins then. Left hand comes up and under to meet the hand behind. Now, if you want, you can use a strap for this. Otherwise, if you can't meet under and behind, you can bring the left hand onto your right elbow and just give a nice gentle push down. Lovely. Give a nice deep inhale and release. And again for me. Two more times. And release. One more round. And release. Release the arms, come back to center. Let's release our legs by gently coming out of cow face if you have. And maybe if you crossed your legs, you can maybe do the opposite way with the foot. So bring your right leg now to the left side of your hip. Left over on top and to the outside of your right hip. Now you might find that one side is tougher than the other. It's usually always the case. So don't be alarmed if you find that this one is a little bit tougher. But don't strain yourself. Just go into crossed legs or the block and sit nicely. So bring the left arm over and down towards your shoulder blades. I will get my words out. Right hand comes out and under and tries to meet or can meet the left hand from here. Otherwise, if you want to stay with me, you can bring your right hand to left elbow and just draw the palm and elbow down. Try and keep your chin off chest if you can, remembering to